Wow.
Wow is right, Joni. I am so excited about this Cave Quest theme.
I tell you, churches are going to have such a good time putting this together.
Oh, yeah, they are. But are you ready to get started?
Yeah. Welcome to Decorating Places Cave Quest.
Welcome to Decorating Places. We're going to turn this church sanctuary into an over-the-top and underground adventure that kids are going to go wild for. This is Decorating Places Cave Quest. Our volunteers arrived early to unload all the supplies and materials at the church. They're taping down plastic sheeting to protect the floor from any spills and accidents and setting up workstations. First, we set up our foam cutting station with all of our hot knives that you can find online at group.com. Next, we'll set up the paint station. Here's the tracing station with the overhead projectors and foam. You can use cardboard too. And finally, our construction station with all the tools we need to build our stalactites and stalagmites. For more detailed information and a supply list, visit group.com/VBS-tools. First, Bruce is going to get started by making the cave bases and ceilings, which are going to support the cave formations. Let's see what he has in mind.
Well, Bruce, here we are at the transparency station, and you've got a secret trick that you use with this overhead projector.
I do. Joni, it's the easiest, most simplest way to get an image from here onto our piece of foam or cardboard, whatever.
That's great.
See, what I've done is I've done the transparency with a marker. We have our foam all set up. We're going to turn that on.
And simple, and suddenly you see all the things that you need to trace, and it's right there for you.
That's exactly it. So what I did is I call my loosey-goosey here, a little bit of a sketch, and you can see here is we're creating a top and bottom for all our stalactites and stalagmites to attach to. So we have to create our top and bottom that we can glue to so they can be freestanding. So what we have here is just our bases. So what we're going to do is we're going to
So this is the floor of the cave.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So we're going to cut out 6 of these, and these are going to become our bases for our cave.
And what size do we make them then?
Right now I have everything drawn up at a 4x8, so I've split it in half, so they're 2x8 bases.
Okay, so what I like about that is you've already planned by the size of the styrofoam.
I did.
So that we can maximize the use of that.
Absolutely.
Great idea.
Bruce is using overhead projectors to project our cave transparencies onto foam. Check around your church to see if they have a projector stashed in a closet somewhere, or you might be able to borrow one from another church or school. You can move your projector closer or farther from your foam to make our stalactites bigger or smaller to fit your space. It also helps to turn off the lights and cover your windows so you can see your projected image better. For our cave quest, we're making 6 cave formations, but you can do more or less to fill up your space.
Okay, Bruce, this looks like a very cool way to cut this foam. I was thinking I would take a knife or something. Tell me about this hot knife.
But you know what? It's funny. People do. They think they can cut it with a knife. And you can. You can cut it with a knife. You can cut it with a jigsaw, of course. But it leaves all those little foam balls all over the place. That's the best thing about this hot knife. What it does is it gets hot and it just cuts right through the foam like butter.
And because it's hot, you'll want to wear a glove because
the hot knife does get hot.
Yeah,
yes, it does.
Get hot. That's why they call it a hot knife.
That's
You can pick up your own hot knife at group.com. While this group of volunteers continues to work on the bases, the other volunteers are getting started on making the stalactites and stalagmites. To make stalactites and stalagmites out of recycled soda bottles, we simply wrap the upside-down empty bottles with brown craft paper. Don't worry about taking the plastic logos off the bottles because you'll end up covering them up anyway. Well, we attached the paper to the bottles with masking tape, and each person decided how long or short they wanted their stalactite or stalagmite to be. We then crumpled the paper to give it some texture. You'll drill holes in the bottom of the soda bottles and use a screw to attach the stalactite into the foam bases. Check out the instructions online at group.com/VBS Tools.
This is awesome. This one, it's okay, but you know what? I wanted to do it a little bit better and go the extra mile, so we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this one. Again, water bottle, craft paper. See, it's a little bit longer, has that stalactite look and feel. This is going to look awesome in our cave.
Once we've finished the cave bases, it's time to start cutting out the cave formations. Use the hot knives to cut the edges of the foam at 45 to 30 degree angles. Not having 90-degree edges gives the foam a more rocky texture. When working with hot knives, it's important to avoid fumes, so it's a good idea to work outside or in a well-ventilated area. In order to give our stalactites texture, we'll be using a spray-on foam insulator. We chose the brand Great Stuff because you can find it at just about any home improvement store.
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah.
I've been thinking, like, you are the original caveman building this great stuff. I want to know more.
Well, we're so excited about this, and you can see this is just a water bottle that we connected to our scrap foam.
You know what? You can't see it. That's what's cool about it.
Isn't that awesome?
That is cool.
So again, we just took the craft paper. Now, depending how far you want to go with this, is craft paper good enough? Yes.
Okay.
But of course, we wanted to always take it the extra mile, so we have some insulating foam.
Great detail.
So what I'm going to have them do is they're going to hold this, and we're going to hold it as straight as we can. And then what we're going to do is just take our spray foam here, and we're just going to do a line down it and up it, just here and there. Isn't that fun?
Great, goofy fun, yeah. And I love it that you can just keep it to the paper, and that's where you can stop. Or if you want to go to the next level, you can put this cool
Little insulating foam.
three-dimensional foam going on.
That's exactly
Love
it.
it. Hey, Bruce?
Yeah.
If you're really going cheap, would newspaper work?
Absolutely.
Then what do you do with it now?
Okay,
Because
now what you're going to
can't-
do is set it down on the ground.
So you can put it down
Yeah,
on the ground.
I got
and
it.
it's okay?
Go ahead and drop it down on the ground. And if you always want to go back and you want to add a little bit more, you can.
How long does it take to dry?
It actually takes about an hour, but to touch, it's probably about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Great Stuff has many uses, but it is extremely sticky. So wear gloves to avoid getting it on your skin. Turn the cans upside down when applying Great Stuff foam. Now, Great Stuff foam made the longer stalactites very heavy, so we recommend that you hang them until they dry. You can use scrap foam to hang them from. Now that your bases and cave formations are cut, it's time to start putting them together. For this step, you'll need 6-inch nails, markers, and more Great Stuff. To get started, place the cave formations on the bases and mark their position with markers. Place them off-center to give them depth. Apply Great Stuff onto the marked area and firmly press the two pieces together. On the back side, use 6-inch nails to secure the two pieces together. Once you've made a secure base, you can move to the top.
Okay, Bruce, you are super creative, and I know you probably even have more options for ways to do this cave, so you're dying to tell me about another option.
I am. So you have your hot knife, and this is a piece of scrap foam that we have.
And also, it's like you can just do it freehand. You don't have to have a pattern or
You
anything.
really don't. So we're going to go over this with the heat gun. We're going to seal it, we're going to paint it, and you'll see the difference.
All right, great.
Another
easy
piece
way.
of stalactite.
Heat guns are a great way to give foam more texture, but not essential. Well, ask around your church for someone that might have a heat gun. They're generally used for home improvement projects. And make sure you wear gloves. To make our cave entrance, you'll need to tape together 3 pieces of 2-inch foam. Trace and cut out the pattern. You can find the patterns, paint colors, supplies, and instructions online at group.com/VBStools. Click on Decorating. Once that's finished, use Great Stuff to glue the walls and tack them together with nails.
Hey, got my buddy Alex here, and then what this is this is the cave entrance, which I'm real excited about. That's going to go in front of our mural work. But what we're doing is we're kind of just laying extra rocks, and the best thing about this, it's all scrap foam, and you can't go wrong. So what we're doing, again, building layers upon layers. So whatever scrap foam that we have left, let's just kind of pile it up and make it a big, thick-looking cave. Okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
When all 3 cave formations are secured to their bases, you can begin to texture them with Great Stuff. You can use as little or as much Great Stuff foam as you need, dependent on your budget. There's no right or wrong way to apply the foam, so be creative. While our volunteers continue having fun with the caves, we invited Jerry, the gem expert, to share some awesome rock facts.
We are so fortunate to be here with Jerry, who's an actual mineralogist. Isn't that great? I mean, it's hard to say, but I would call him a rock star because he's brought in all these amazing things that are from the underground and part of God's amazing creation. And you may find somebody like Jerry who could explain things like this to you. Tell us a little bit about what is this? It's amazing.
This is a mineral called aragonite, and we call this cave popcorn when we're dealing with caves.
That is fantastic. I can see kids being so excited about, well, there's so many here. Let's take a look at this one, so different. What is this?
This is what we call onyx, and basically that is what a cave is made of. Each of the different layers coming through is bringing small amounts of metals, iron in this case, leaving the different colors.
Wow.
Each layer could take up to thousands of years to form.
This actually looks like a beautiful mountain scene already, but
Right.
wow.
That's not kryptonite by Superman, is it?
No, I'd lose my powers already. Yeah.
Kryptonite, man.
And this is locally found. We dug this out about 3 weeks ago. We were able to mine it out and clean it up a little bit. And beautiful bands of color.
How did you mine it out? How did you get it?
Chisels, hammers, and a lot of determination. Right.
Wow, this looks like the rings of a tree.
Yes, and this is very similar to the stalactite. This is stalactite from Argentina.
Wow.
And it had manganese that got in with the travertine, and it turned into a mineral called rhodochrosite.
Wow. You're just an expert in all these things. It's so amazing. Okay, this is like, what is this?
This is a selenite crystal. This is a variety of gypsum, and this one is actually from China.
Wow.
And they're finding them inside of huge caves. Wow. And this one is actually marked, and it'll be hard to see on camera, but it actually still has water that is trapped inside of the crystal. As you move this back and forth like a level, the air bubble will move back and forth inside of the crystal. And they're finding the largest of these in the world in Mexico in a cave called the Cave of the Swords.
Wow. And you can see why they'd say swords.
As big as trees.
You know, and that's what I love about in caves. People have used their imaginations to name things and whatever, popcorn, swords, or whatever. It's beautiful. Thank you, Jerry, for bringing your collection.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Amazing. Wow.
Thanks, Jerry. That rocked. Now that our set is starting to take shape, let's add some color. When you think of a cave, you might not think of color, but just watch what Bruce has in store for us. Bruce, I want to know, we've got all this paint here. You look like you're about to mix it into something amazing.
I am about to mix. We're going to take our base color, and we're going to pour
it into a plastic paint can.
And what we're doing is we're actually going to be painting this with spray bottles and bug sprayers.
Now that sounds easy.
It is very easy. So I'm putting about 3/4 of the water in this cup right here.
Wow, so it's really thin so that you can use it in the spray bottle.
That's correct. So we're going to use our handy dandy funnel.
Ooh.
You're going to hold that, please.
Sprayed.
Throw that right in.
That.
And then we're going to put our topper on like this. So you're armed and dangerous.
Before you start painting, Make sure your floor is completely and securely covered in plastic because the paint will drip from the foam. Most importantly, don't forget to have fun. To give your cave formations more depth, spray a darker shade of the base color on the top and bottom of the walls. Bruce will show us how to mix a darker shade of paint.
All right, Bruce, there's this black paint and you've got a stir stick, and I know you're all about the details, but what are you doing now?
Oh, Joni, you know me. What I want to do is the volunteers have done such a great job on sculpting the cave walls.
They have.
I really want to bring that detail out. So what we did is we took our base color, the artichoke color, and what I'm going to do is just add, I'm taking a cup.
Okay, just slow down a little bit. How are you doing that? That is not what I would do to get...
See, most people would pick up the whole can and try to pour it in.
That's what I would do.
So what you do is you take your stir stick and you backslide it into your cup.
And it doesn't smear on the outside of the cup?
Nope, not at all.
It goes right in. Oh, that's
See
cool.
that? And it goes right in.
Nice little tip.
You know? So then what we're going to do, we're going to mix that. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to pour some water in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our solid black, pour
Dump
that
it in.
into our artichoke. Get yourself a
Look at
little
that.
funnel.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is our.
Oh, you're so brave. Whoa.
We're just going to pour that right in there. We're going to put this in our bottle, like that. And now we are going to do some airbrushing.
Cool. You know, nobody can recreate what God has made, but Bruce comes pretty close to doing a good job.
In order to give our cave formations a more 3D look, Bruce has decided to paint the back formations purple and the formations closer to the front a light turquoise. Now, you don't have to worry about matching our paint colors or brand exactly. In fact, check your store's return paint area to see if any colors might work. It's usually cheaper. Make sure to use flat latex paint because it dries faster and covers more evenly. You can find paint colors, supplies, and instructions online at group.com/VBS Tools. Click on Decorating. It's the end of day one. Look at how awesome our cave formations look. I know.
Awesome.
I can't believe what this
Awesome job.
amazing group of volunteers has done in one day.
Oh, I'm telling you.
What all have they accomplished? Because it's great.
Oh man, they created these beautiful, beautiful cave walls using the foam and the insulating foam and a cave. I'm telling you, they got a lot done in one day, but we have a lot more to do.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
It's the start of day 2, and Bruce is in a peculiar position.
Bruce?
Hey, Joni, you want to flip me over here?